Hello, my name is Jeff Murkich, and this is my self-biography speech. In the audience, I have my mom, grandma, and my wife, Jade. My wife, Jade, is the one who will be recording my speech, so once I hand the camera over to her after scanning the audience is when you can officially start recording my speech. Hello, my name is Jeff Murkich. I'm 24 years old. I do not have any siblings. I was the only child. I grew up with my mother out near Raccoon Township. I went to Southside Area School District, where I attended from first grade all the way up till my senior year. During that time, I was also in honors courses along with being elected as the president of the SAD group during my senior year, which stands for Students Against Destructive Decisions. This group was pretty cool because during my senior year for prom, we actually put together what's called a mock crash scene, which pretty much raised awareness for drunk driving, which I thought was a very cool message to send out at that time of year to promote safety. Currently, I reside in Hopewell Township with my wife. We live relatively close to the police station, and we've bought our house roughly 3 years ago, and we've been together a little over 5. Currently, I'm majoring in criminal justice at CCBC. I thought it was a very cool field to get into. My wife was a motivator as well, seeing what she gets to do every day. She's employed at Dick's Corporate, located right there in Moon Township. She's a fraud reviewer, so what she does, with online monitoring for fraudulent orders and stuff, that's very cool. For my future career, I'm still relatively undecided because I currently am employed through Enterprise Holdings right there at the Pittsburgh Airport, and it's a very cool position. My job responsibilities include prepping cars in order to meet customer satisfaction and such. Also meeting demand. On a typical Monday, we may have up to 800 cars being rented out, so it's a very fast-paced environment. Just a little bit about my family heritage. I have a lot of Serbian blood from my father's side, and from my mother's side, I have a lot of German blood, which is probably where I get a lot of my temper. As far as pets, we have actually 3 dogs and a cat. We have 2 purebred Australian Shepherds. You may be able to hear some of them in the background. They're currently gnawing on their bones as we speak. I have 1 blue Merle. His name is Mason. And I also have another red Tri named Bentley. And then we have 1 smaller dog who's a Peekapoo, and his name is Jax. And our cat, she was actually rescued. We brought her from my wife's old home before we actually moved in together, and she's been with us ever since. Some of my favorite things to do: I love being outdoors. I love walking my dogs, doing anything to get my hands dirty. As I mentioned, we are homeowners, so I love just doing any projects that I can get into around the house. For instance, just recently, me and my father-in-law just rewired our entire home. It was a relatively large project, but we finally got it done, and just that sense of accomplishment, is very self-rewarding. I also enjoy landscaping and stuff like that. Anything that I can do to improve the overall look of my home, and just anything interesting about me. My wife and I coincidentally actually met online a little over 5 years ago, which I thought was very interesting. And as I mentioned earlier, we've been together a little over 5 years now. And we were actually only 21 years old when we bought our first house. And just a little bit of extra tidbits. I thought it was funny to mention that we're a Mazda family. I actually bought my Mazda 3 in 2016, brand new. And from that point, my wife loved the Mazda, so she decided to do me one better and go get the Mazda 6. And just recently, we took on the added responsibility of going and purchasing a Mazda 2 for my grandparents, which they love, to my knowledge. So we're very fortunate to have that opportunity to do so. And that is pretty much everything that I have to sum up my biography. So if you have any other questions, I'll be glad to hear them. And if not, then I thank you for your time. Thank you.